What up, y'all? It's your boy M-phamis, please call me M3 Bold. Welcome back. I know I'm late to the whole reviewing and recapping the Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. I know I'm a little late on that, but your boy's been busy, okay? I only got a couple more days until school, and this is kind of my last, well, not really my last hurrah, but more this is my I guess last summertime video before I start going back to school again. Make sure and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out, DNR. The links to everything is down below. And guys, if you want to get my videos before they show up on YouTube, head over to my Patreon page. Patreon is a website where you can pretty much support your favorite content creator. You can get special perks and benefits like getting videos early, getting requested content, stuff like that. In the beginning of the movie, we got a little bit of a backstory flashback on an island that InGen used to own, well, the Masrani Corporation. Pretty much they're the scientists behind Jurassic Park. How they managed to bring the dinosaurs back to life. We were at an InGen facility, and pretty much the scientists over there were working on hybrid dinosaurs. Then we got introduced to two scientists, the male and female scientists. They were checking in on the distorted breast. The male scientist was was eating some sort of Snicker bar. He kind of just finished it up real quick and pretty much just threw the wrapper on the ground. The distorted Rex, or the D-Rex, that's what I'm gonna call it now, the D-Rex. Pretty much it was a prototype hybrid. It was some sort of T-Rex kind of. The scientists went inside the D-Rex holding cell. They were checking in on the D-Rex to see if it was okay or if it was even healthy. Then the male scientist candy wrapper kind of got into the door, causing the alarms to go off and causing a little bit of a malfunction. The lady scientist managed to make it out, but the guy was trapped inside. Then eventually the D-Rexes showed up right behind him and about to eat him. The female scientist had no choice but to let the G-Rex eat him. Then we cut to present day, and pretty much we got introduced to this dude named Krebs. Krebs is pretty much a pharmaceutical sales rep for some sort of company named Parkergenics. Krebs was in traffic, and he was trying to look and see what's the issue and what's going on. There was a dinosaur that was pretty much was about to die. And it was the last living dinosaur in North America right now. Because the dinosaurs are located in the equator now. They can't survive anywhere else because of the diseases and the climate. Krebs went inside his car and Zora was waiting for him this whole time, kind of spooking him a little bit. Zora was a mercenary that was pretty much was discovered by Krebs because she was so good at her her job or something. Krebs was pretty much telling her the job is to go where the equator is, where the dinosaurs are. Zora pretty much got out of the car and pretty much said no thanks, I'm good. Krebs tried to persuade her to go down there and take the job because it pays a crap ton of money to the point where she don't have to put her life on the line or do no more missions ever again. Zora eventually agrees. Then we head to a museum where pretty much we got introduced to Dr. Loomis. Dr. Loomis is a paleobiologist or something that basically works at the museum. The museum is being shut down because no one's not really interested in dinosaurs anymore. Dr. Loomis has been working with Krebs and pretty much have been advising him about synthesizing some sort of dino DNA. Parkergenics' goal was to collect 3 samples from 3 giant dinosaurs from 3 different categories, land, sea, and air. They had to collect DNA from the Mosasaurus from the sea, Titanosaurus from the land, and then the Quintuplacus for the air. The reason why they need samples from these dinosaurs is because they need to create some sort of cure for heart disease or something. Krebs pretty much told Loomis they're gonna go on this mission and they kinda need him aboard because they can't predict dinosaur behavior. And not only that, identify different dinosaur species. Dr. Loomis was very reluctant, then he kinda said, alright, let's do it. Then we got introduced to Duncan Kincaid. Duncan and Zora have been friends for a long time, and pretty much Duncan has a boat and a crew to take them to the island. Duncan and Zora pretty much hustled Krebs to give them more money. Then Bobby showed up, Bobby's and another friend of Zora. And they all head out to the sea to pretty much go to the island. Alright, let's speed this up. Krebs pretty much told him the place they were going to was an old research base, for the original Jurassic Park. Then there was an incident that kinda went wrong. Yeah, he's hiding something. Dr. Loomis pretty much explains how they're gonna get the samples out of the dinosaurs. All they had to do is just shoot it with a needle gun. That needle gun will finish filling up the samples. Then it'll eject that sample like a bottle rocket. and they would like deploy the parachute and they had to like come catch it. Zora and Duncan pretty much like had a little heart to heart and we know a little bit more about the personal lives. Kincaid pretty much told her like, hey, we need to stop being mercenaries for reals and start actually doing stuff that actually matters. And life is really short and stuff. Then we got introduced to his family. It was a dad and two of his daughters and one of the daughter's boyfriend. They were doing this for fun because like they were planning to like, you know, like drive their little sailboat to like all the way to Cape Town. They've done it multiple times before. And also they brought like, one of the daughter's boyfriend. The dad does not like the boyfriend at all. Eventually their like ship got attacked by like a freaking mosasaur. They managed to like get like the radio. The radio was the only thing that got left. And a flare gun. The dad used the radio. Eventually, like, Duncan Kincaid and pretty much, like, everyone, like, got, like, worried about, like, the whole signal. They were, like, 28 miles from the island, and Kincaid was like, alright, screw that. We're gonna, like, rescue, like, the family first, then we'll, like, go back to this later. They didn't manage to rescue the family. The family pretty much told him, like, about the mosasaur attack. The mosasaurs came back, and it was also working with 4 Spinosaurus. They're pretty much teaming up to, like, attack the boat. They had to, like, really drive out of there, like, real fast. They managed to get the sample from the mosasaur, and Bobby ended up dead. Eventually, like, another, like, of Kincaid's crew pretty much died. Krabs pretty much explains, like, this whole island was a research facility. Pretty much, like, trying to, like, hybridize, like, certain dinosaur species. Earlier, Krabs pretty much told them, like, there was, like, a facility that had geothermal power. Zora and her crew pretty much, like, went into, like, the jungle, pretty much got the samples from the Titanosaurus and the Quintucoatlas. They managed to get the samples, and they barely made it out alive. The family pretty much were, like, being, like, chased down by a T-Rex. They barely made it out in 2. Eventually, they made it to, like, the facility, and they were also being, like, chased down by, like, mutant raptors that could fly. Then eventually, like, the D-Rex showed up. It was causing havoc and mayhem. Krabs kinda died. Zora took, like, all, like, the samples, and they managed to make it out of there alive. I felt like this movie kind of, like, recaptured, like, some parts of the magic. I mean, they did try to, like, recreate, like, the magic of the first movie, but they kind of fell a little short, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, I mean, the concept, I mean, the idea of, like, the Jurassic Park Rebirth movie, it kind of does answer that question, though. I'm just saying, throughout, like, the entire Jurassic Park franchise, you're telling me, out of all these genetically engineered, like, you know, dinosaurs that they managed to bring back to life, you're telling me that there's not 1 or 2 of them that possibly were not mutated or probably came out wrong? I know it's supposed to be a science fiction movie, but at least like I'm just saying with that aspect, you know, with the whole mutant dinosaur thing, it kind of does like bring it into reality because like the reality is like if you put it in science, the likelihood of you making like a perfect clone the first time or like creating like a new organism or crossbreeding a new species, the likelihood of it like coming out perfect the first time, pretty slim to none. I'm just saying this movie kind of does like provide like a good explanation on that. You know, there's this YouTube channel called The New Rockstars. The New Rockstars pretty much like break down like every single like major sci-fi fandom and basically break down like Easter eggs, references to like many like sci-fi fandoms, like let's say Marvel, DC, sometimes The Boys from Amazon or Invincible. I highly recommend you guys check them out. Also though, in my opinion though, I wish they like stopped like, you know, like focusing on like the mercenary characters in like these like in the new Jurassic Park movies, to be honest with you. I mean like what was it, the first 3 with like Owen, with Chris Pratt, I'm gonna be honest with you, like those movies were pretty good. I feel like with Scarlett Johansson, I don't think she could like, you know, like live up to the standard that like Chris Pratt kind of like set in the Jurassic World movies. At least the last 3, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, Scarlett Johansson, she is a good actress. Most of her action-packed roles she's done to perfection, but this, I mean, I feel like it's just, I'm just saying, like, the character that she's playing, Laura Bennett, I'm gonna be honest with you, she doesn't feel relatable that much. I mean, the whole backstory with her mom and, like, her missing her mom's funeral, I mean, yeah, it's a little sad though, but I'm just saying, like, I wish we, like, had, like, more context to her before, like, she showed up on screen, rather than her just, like, showing up as, like, a full-blown mercenary. You know how, like, some, like, certain media, like, in at least the last 10 years, when it comes to female protagonists, they always depict them as, like, a Mary Sue, like, a perfect, like, character. Like, she's, like, the female hero is, like, so perfect to the point where, like, she literally can kick anyone's butt. No problem, no struggling, no nothing. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of struggle there, but I'm just saying, the way they've written the character, they've written her to be like a Mary Sue. And those type of characters tend to be like less relatable though. Okay, I'm glad that they add like the river raft scene. This is a fun fact in case you guys don't know. In the first Jurassic Park movie, it was originally written to be like a river raft scene where pretty much like the what was it, Alan and the kids were being like chased by the T-Rex like on like a raft or something. That kind of like ended up getting like cut from the movie, but now they kind of like brought it back into this one. I mean, I'm glad that they brought that in. One of the complaints about the movie is like the portrayal of the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus character was like, what was it? I'm just saying, like the way they designed Spinosaurus, like the CGI guys, the 3D modeling guys, they definitely like based this on like the like what was it, the most like accurate like depiction, or at least like known like depiction of those Spinosaurus in real life. I mean, I do like miss like the Spinosaurus from like Jurassic Park 3. I mean, it was pretty good though, but not like scientifically accurate though. But hey, this is supposed to be like again like the island of mutant dinosaurs. So again, they could have been like early like Spinosaurus attempts. Honestly though, I wish we had like more time to like develop. I mean, yeah, there's some degree of character development. I mean, with the family. I'll be honest with you, this movie should like start like the family mostly, rather than focus on like the mercenaries is like professionals here because I mean like they're the professionals, bro. They know that they have a chance of like making it out alive. But the family on the other hand, I mean, it kind of just gives a little suspense. And it gives like a sense of like uncertainty because again, like the family are just like regular normal people that just happens to get like stuck on Jurassic Park. I mean, that's kind of like the premise of like the first movie where they pretty much got like, what was it, 3 scientists, just 3 regular normal people into like an unfamiliar and extremely dangerous situation. Also though, I think the movie would be a lot better if they did like focus like let's say like during like the time like the whole like boat being crashed and stuff. I wish the kids like went with the mercenaries and the dad kind of like went with Xavier, the boyfriend. I mean, it kind of would like give like the like Zora kind of like that character development to like change her mind about like selling like the dinosaur DNA for money right now, because again like there's little kids being in danger here. I mean, this is Jurassic Park, man. Once it comes to Jurassic Park, they always have to have like at least a kid character that like the parents or the adults here have to like try to protect and save. Also, I think that like the kids being like with the mercenaries would have been like a lot more better. I mean, it kind of gives them like better character development here. Okay, Easter eggs and references. Let's see. I think there was like, I don't know, the whole boat scene and what was it, them being like attacked by the mosasaur and like Spinosaurus. It kind of does gives off like Jaws. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't remember the Jaws movie that much, but all I remember is like them pretty much like have to like chase after like some sort of giant shark. And fun fact about Jaws, Jaws was a Steven Spielberg film. Let's see, when Dr. Loomis and Zora were in the Quetzalcoatlus nest, and Dr. Loomis was like collecting sample, the way that it was shot like it was supposed to be like an Indiana Jones. I mean, it's obviously like it was an Indiana Jones reference. I forgot which movie it was, but all I know is that he just like traded idols for something else. But it kind of just like feels like that. Alright, let's see, the gas station scene. That was definitely like from Jurassic Park 2 and like from the first like Jurassic Park movie. I'm just saying the way that the Mutodon, the flying raptor thing, pretty much was like looking around and like stomping its feet. That was definitely like from the first movie. That was okay. That was pretty good though. Another Easter egg I noticed was like at the end of the movie where they like after like like everyone fled the island in one piece. Well, at least everyone that was left. Everyone made it out alive. I mean, it kind of does like give off like the first ending, like from the first Jurassic Park movie. Instead of pelicans, it's dolphins that are one that pretty much, like flying like out in the sunset with them. I mean, again, I'm just saying the pelicans kind of represent like well, the pelicans and the dolphins both represents like the fact that they're going back to like normality and stuff. When we saw like when we kind of like entered like the museum where Dr. Loomis was working at. I mean, the way that the dinosaur exhibit, well, at least the banner for it, like, fell down, it fell down exactly like how, like, the banner fell down in the first movie, where Rexy was, like, fighting, like, the velociraptors and won. Another one that's, like, in the museum was, like, like, the whole TV thing, like, pretty much showing you, like, an animation of, like, why the dinosaurs could not, like, survive in today's time because of the climate or anything else like that. It kind of does, like, I'm just saying, the animation style itself, it kind of does, like, remind me of Mr. DNA's, like, introduction sequence, where he pretty much was telling them, like, how, like, they made the dinosaurs and stuff. Okay, in my opinion, about, like, the D-Rex, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, that thing is scary as crap. And not only that, I was trying to figure out, like, what that thing was possibly mixed with. And judging by the looks of it, there's a slight possibility that maybe, I'm just saying, like the long arms that is used for like walking and stuff, it does look like they were trying to like mix like a T-Rex with a gorilla, maybe a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you, like the T-Rex itself looked like a freaking like whole like I mean it kind of looked like a freaking xenomorph. I'm just saying. They did like keep the scores that they kind of had like for most of the other Jurassic Park movies, like what was it, like Going to the Island, and the other one was like Welcome to Jurassic Park, where they pretty much played like that score, you know, where Alan and what was it, Ellie pretty much look and they actually like see a dinosaur for real. That like you know score, I think it was like a good idea to like put that in with like you know the Titanosaurus for a second. Because I mean they're trying to like recreate like some of the magic from like the first movie. I'm just saying, it kind of just gives me that vibe. I love what Dr. Loomis said about, like, what was it, him explaining about, like, why the dinosaurs lived as long as they have, like, has ruled the earth for millions of years. Even though these animals are stupid, but yet they managed to reign supreme for over millions of years. While humans, Homo sapiens, have been around for only, like, what was it, 200,000 years? And he highly doubts they will make it because, it's, as smart as we are, we always constantly, like, are a species on downfall. And he is so right. I'm not gonna lie. The way that, like, they kind of, like, frame his whole speech thing, it kind of gives off, like, me and Malcolm pretty much explaining, like, how, like, stupid it was to like open like a dinosaur theme park during that time. Dr. Woman's character does like kind of like reminds me of like Dr. Grant and like I mean he's like a combination of Grant and Malcolm at the same time. But I feel like if there was a percentage, I would say he's 85% like Grant and the rest is just like Dr. Malcolm, honestly though. So in conclusion, I really did like this film, even though like a lot of fans from like the Jurassic Park franchise have said like this like movie really sucked. I mean, I really did enjoy it personally though. I mean, there could be things that could have been improved on. Scarlett Johansson did a good job. It's just the character that she was playing wasn't that good. Well, at least not as good. Alright, your boy gotta go. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, check me out on Art. Links to everything is down below. And guys, like I said, if you want to get my videos before they ever show up on YouTube, head over to my Patreon page. M3Boy, out.